ThaBoxingvoice.com live here with trainer Andre Rozier. I know you were playing second for Gennady, but obviously he's going to be in the camp with Daniel Jacobs, getting ready for Gennady Golovkin. We just seen an all-out war. I was telling my listeners how good of a fight this was. I did expect Kitrov to get the win. What happened?
You know, you can never tell what is actually going to be going on in the mind of your fighter at these moments. We wanted Eugene to slip and slide, work the body, stay with the jab. He got caught early, and I'd never seen him shooken up. So I thought he was going to recover, but he didn't seem to. And he wasn't following instructions at that point, and we came up short.
Now, Aleem says that Kitrov was in line to possibly be mandatory or in an eliminator for a possible match with Gennady Golovkin because of that WBC silver title that he just won. Did you know anything about that? And what sort of chances do you give him versus Golovkin, being as though that he doesn't want an in-between fight? He doesn't want a Curtis Stevens, a David Lemieux, any type of opponent that is a barometer of Golovkin. He wants to go straight into the Golovkin fight. Is he ready?
No. Golovkin is truly a different animal. I know that firsthand. And it's good to be able to say it, but to live it is a different story. He had trouble when Eugene was on him. If that was Golovkin, first off, I think the pressure would have gotten to him a lot sooner, and the punches are a whole lot bigger. He would have been in trouble.
So with that same thing in mind, how does he help Daniel Jacobs if the pressure of Golovkin would be a lot more than Kitrov? How does him being in camp really give Daniel Jacobs any edge in this fight with Gennady Golovkin come March 18th?
Well, of course, I'm at the point where I have to make changes, and being that he was hurt, he's going to be on suspension, so he's not going to see action in camp. And I will find a noteworthy replacement, maybe a light heavyweight that is going to bring it, and nonetheless, we're going to be ready. What we're preparing for is for Danny to be ready, not for his sparring partners to be the barometer for what's going on. And I guarantee you, Danny will be ready for this fight.
Now, with this fight, obviously, Danny's going to relocate to California or Oakland with Virgil Hunter. But everyone is kind of focusing on the new nuances that he's adding to the camp. What does Danny do well already that is going to be the problem for Golovkin? See, because everyone looks at this fight and they're like, well, he hits so hard. Danny has to watch out for his power. What does Golovkin have to watch out? Does Danny pose any type of threat to Golovkin?
Let's turn that back around. Danny has had only 3 people, no 4, granted, Pirog. 3 people escape his punching capability. He needs to look out for that. Danny is a wickedly sharp puncher, and if he comes in thinking he's going to run across the ring and fire punches and not get hit, he's going to be sadly mistaken. It might be over before it gets started.
Now, it was 6 years ago, so I don't want you to focus on that Pirog fight, but in that fight, Danny was getting countered with the right over his jab. It's been 6 years. Is that jab a little more, I guess, consistent? Is it sturdier, or is he still leaving it out there lingering where he can get that counter shot?
No, well, that was 6 years ago. Like I said before, are you a better driver than you were 6 years ago?
Absolutely.
So, and Danny is a much better fighter than he was 6 years ago. He's matured. His jab will be omnipotent, and he's going to be flashing it constantly. And for those moments, if you go back to the Pirog fight, after round 1, Danny did very well in the fight. Actually, every round thereafter until he got caught with the shot that put him down, he was winning. And it never fails to amaze me how people can't remember that part. They remember 2 things: the knockdown and the referee not allowing him to get up. They don't remember the rounds when he was working, when he was starching Pirog with beautiful combinations. That's forgotten. But that's boxing.
Now, the Gennady Golovkin fight, obviously, that's a long time ago. It was in the amateurs. But what you do see there is that constant jab and, you know, even a small 1-2 combination makes Golovkin shell up. That was the amateurs, just like Danny fight was 6 years ago. Can we take anything out of that? Can those things still come back to haunt Golovkin come March 18th?
Well, you have to look at the things that are actually going on in his fights, fight by fight. Okay, we've seen him do things, but it's not like there's an umbrella going on here where there's variances from A to Z. Golovkin does what he does on a consistent basis. He pressures you, he throws punches, he likes to go to the body, and he gets hit. As we can see, you get hit enough, the armor will crack. And on March 18th, the armor will be cracking.
Last question. Obviously, everyone, the first thing they run to is Jacobs is chinny. How's he going to last? Jacobs is chinny. How could we reassure people that this fight would go more than the average Golovkin fight, and that, you know, what happened 6 years ago, what happened with Mora was, one, you know, Danny and suffering a loss with his grandmother. Two, in the Mora, he rushed in when he thought he had the guy, had the opportunity, and he wanted to capitalize. How do we know those mistakes won't happen again?
He is truly a student of learning from his mistakes. If not from the fact of us telling him constantly, from the sheer comical embarrassment of things happening like that. He's not going to make mistakes in this fight. Golovkin, in his last fight with Kell Brook, did a wonderful job of breaking him down. He never dropped Kell Brook. He never put him on the canvas. This is a welterweight. He never did it. He's not going to be dropping Daniel Jacobs. Not going to drop him. Danny's been down twice in a career that has spanned more than 30 fights. I've known some of the greatest fighters on the planet who have been down a whole lot more than that. It's not the problem going down. It's the problem staying down. If you go down, you get up, and you get back on it, and you work. We're not planning on going down, but should it happen, we're going to get our asses up, and we're going to get right back to work.
Well, Dre, man, thank you very much. We want to wish you the best of luck come March 18th, and we'll see you at the fight.
Thank you so much. Remember, it's always havoc time, and somebody's going to get hurt up in here. Thanks a lot.